The Caraways have banned Pablo from their country and broken off all diplomatic relations with the Kingdom of Mocha. Another report just in. For the second time in 2 months, the Oregano Island volcano has erupted. We now switch to Retta Roba, who's on the scene. Retta.
This is Retta Roba reporting from the Oregano Islands. It looks like the volcano here has really blown its top. We'll have more details on the damage later.
Gee, Tanya, I guess I really messed up any possible trade with your government. They'll never talk to us now.
Nothing is impossible, Pablo. We will find a way.
And what about you? You'll have to get used to a different life in a strange land.
I made my choice. I want to be with you and see new things. We will help each other. Okay?
Okay, sweetheart. Well, let's go in and face the music.
Pablo, what is that sound? I have never heard anything like it before.
Oh, that stuff. Don't pay any attention. It's just for kids. They call it rock and roll.
But it is wonderful. Look. Come, Pablo, dance with me. I like this rock and roll.
I don't think so, Tanya. It's not my kind of music. Besides, I'm not much of a dancer.
It is easy. You just listen to the beat. Let yourself go.
We're shaking, and you won't believe the sound that we're making.
That night, Tanya showed me that we Mocans had a few things to learn from other people with different cultures. And the next day at Big Daddy's, we found out we might also have a few things in common.
The ship of state has sprung a leak. The caraway trade looks bleak. We needed a positive answer, and you come back with a dancer.
Gee, Big Daddy, I'm sure sorry about this. We just fell in love, that's all.
So we see.
But I did find out one thing.
Yes?
The Caraways don't want grain from Mocha. They want to be self-sufficient in that market.
Gee, we should have known. They have high production quotas for grain.
Excuse me, please, but I know something the Caraway Islands do want.
What's that, Tanya?
Crystals. It is becoming much more and deeper.
But the Oreganos have plenty of crystals.
They will not trade. They refuse the Caraway Committee's offer to trade crystals for radios. They think radios will destroy their traditions.
This problem is tough. Webster, do your stuff.
There's something coming over to Webster Wiz now. Wow, the Oregano's crystal supply has doubled, but their grain supply is way down. That last volcano eruption must have ruined their crops.
That means they really want grain.
And have we got grain?
And the Caraways want crystals.
And we're in the market for radios.
Once again, a potential trade was in the winds. Mocha could ship grain to the Oreganos for crystals, and then trade the crystals to the Caraways for radios. But how could we get everybody to cooperate, especially the Caraways?
I know. Culture is very, very important to my people. Art, the theater, music, it is good for the soul. We must send your young musicians to my country as a gesture of goodwill.
You mean the Java Quake?
Yes, the Java Quake. Music brings people together. It is the universal language.
Like sort of a cultural goodwill tour.
Sure.
With me as the ambassador.
Rock and roll is good for the soul. Rock and roll is good for the soul. Rock and roll is good for the soul. It does have a certain ring to it.
And so, the Java Quake sailed off to the Caraways on their goodwill mission. Tanya and I, with Big Mama and a load of wheat, headed for the Oreganos to start negotiations. And the rest of Mocha waited hopefully by the radio for some good news. Looks like you fellas could use some good news, too. Wonder what happened to all the fish.
We're witnessing an extraordinary event here in the Caraway Islands, Java Quake Mania. These goodwill ambassadors from Mocha have taken the country by storm, and here they are! Let's switch to the Caraway Committee headquarters for their reaction.
Attention! We are considering the banning of rock and roll due to its disruptive influence on our youth. However, we will make our decision
after attending a special Java Quake performance
at the National Ballet Theater next week.
Meanwhile, on the Oregano Islands, a special tribal council had been called to consider our trade proposal. While they debated, we waited.
The Mocans have come to offer us grain in exchange for crystals, which seem to have great value to them.
It is not our custom to trade with other countries. What does the wise one say?
We need more grain to feed our people and our sacred Angora. We do not need crystals.
What does the shepherd say?
I have talked with the Mocans. They used to live simply like us. Now their land is crowded with factories and businesses. They have prices that rise and fall. They worry too much about money.
If we trade with them, we might become more like them. Our children may leave us for foreign lands. What does the wise one say?
It is our custom to trade with each other and share with each other. But since the volcano roared, the farmers have little to trade.
The farmers can help repair the temples and rebuild the homes which have been destroyed.
But the farmers must eat, and the sacred Angora must eat. What does the wise one say?
It is good to replenish the lost grain. It is good to rebuild our temples and homes. It is good to send away the crystals. There may be some bad in allowing trade, but the good outweighs the bad.
What does the tribal council say?
We agree to the trade.
So be it. Summon the royal ambassador from Mocha.
We did it! They agreed to the trade!
As Big Daddy would say,
hooray! We won the day!
They even gave me this sack of crystals for the grain we brought as a sign of good faith. Well, I'm off to the caraways. Wish me luck.
Wait, Big Mama. I have an idea.
Boy, Tanya, you sure are full of ideas.
I think the Java Quake should look their best for the Caraway Committee. I'll design them some new costumes for you to take along.
Sounds good to me. Never liked that heavy metal look anyway.
Tanya and I had done all we could. Now it was up to Big Mama and the Java Quake to convince the Caraway Committee. Little did they know how we had set the stage for the three-way trade.
And now it is time for the rock and the roll. Introducing the big noise from Mocha, the Java Quake.
See 'em shine, see 'em glow, see those crystals rock and roll. Put 'em in your radio, hear those crystals rock and roll. Hear those crystals rock and roll.
Crystals? You have crystals on Mocha?
No, but we can sure get them.
Many crystals?
All you can ever use. And we got a deal for you.
Crystal rock.
We interrupt this program for an important news bulletin. The Caraway Committee has just announced that diplomatic relations with Mocha have been reinstated in the spirit of, and I quote, peaceful relations, mutual cooperation, and economic growth. The Caraways have also signed a surprise trade agreement with Mocha and the Oregano Islands involving a three-way exchange of grain, crystals, and radios. All right! Well, folks, it looks like rock and roll is here to stay.
See 'em shine, see 'em glow, see those crystals rock and roll. Put 'em in your radio, hear those crystals rock and roll. Hear those crystals rock and roll. Hear those crystals rock and roll.
Well, that's the end of the story. The radio put us in touch with other countries and other kinds of systems, and we all got together for our mutual benefit. I guess it just goes to show that even though societies may be different, people are pretty much the same all over. They do what they do best, so they can trade to get more of the things they want. And when something new comes along, say a new invention like the radio, it usually brings change right along with it.
Pablo, they've sighted a big school of fish near the Pepper Islands. It just came over the radio.
See what I mean? I guess pelicans are pretty much the same all over, too.